You know, the situation that happens here in this country when it comes to racial bias. You know, when people call you names, for me, at the end of the day, I don't care if someone call me a name. You don't have to like me. I don't care. If you call me a name, I'm going to call your name back. That's usually how it works. Words don't really bother me like that. But the racial bias that really bothers me and bothers many others is when it's done to you in the guise of jobs, home loans, car loans, or any kind of loans. Something's going to affect you in your everyday life. That's the problem with racial bias. People have really relegated racial bias to name calling and discrimination to name calling. And that's not what we need to be focusing on, is name calling. We need to be focusing on what I'm about to talk about here, because this happens to black people all the time in this country. So this is a story with a young teenage girl right here in the Houston area. She wanted to get a job at a Subway. So she had put in her application and put up a poster her mother put up. So the mom says, my daughter just dropped off a job application at Subway at Champion Forest and Cypress Wood. Help me spread this and get this manager fired. My daughter's friend works there who encouraged her to apply. We are typically silent about this stuff, but this was pretty blatant, and to be sharing this type of hate with other kids who don't feel the same way is taking it too far. Share it and tweet. So we look at it here. It stated, send it to Monica. Say, girl brought in an application. I'm leaving it on the table for you tomorrow. Say, okay, thanks. How she look? Say, black girl, long, dark hair, shortish. Oh, no, thanks. I don't want those people in our store. Even though it's just a Subway job, and many people may say, well, she can still get another situation. It's not about getting another situation, or it's just a Subway job. The fact is that you have someone that's going to discriminate on this young girl that wants to get a job for the summer, take money from her, not off of maybe she just couldn't be a good employee or something to that effect. You did it for the simple guys of the color of the skin. Even though they have quote unquote affirmative action, which actually don't benefit African Americans, due to research that actually benefit white women more than African Americans. But these things still happen. Now, even at this level, it's even worse at higher paying jobs where you need degrees, and a lot of black people are overly qualified with degrees because they have to be. And then sometimes they'll use that against a black person. They'll say, oh, you're just too overly qualified. But then they'll let others come in just with a high school diploma and they can get the job when you have a master's degree or a bachelor's degree to get this particular job. Or you look up in certain areas of corporate America and you don't see no one that looks like you. And it's not that people that look like you don't apply for these jobs. They just find ways of not hiring you. They may say a comment like that, oh no, I don't want those kind of people here. Or they just may overlook your application just because. We know if you have a black sounding name, that reduces 50% of your callback in this country. That study has been put out on that. Multiple times they talked about these issues. So that's the part of racism that we should focus on and be the most loudest on when it comes to hiring and when it comes to anything financial. Because financial is how you pay your bills, take care of your kids, purchase homes, cars, take a vacation, etc. That's the discrimination. I can care less if you call me the N-word. Like I said, I got 100 words for you back. Trust me. I love to go back and forth with people on that when I have to. I just don't do it online. It's stupid online. Just tell me it to my face and we'll have a different conversation. But this discrimination, like say in housing and in jobs and, etc., that is what hurt us the most. That was cripple us as a community from being in certain situations. So the manager, I'll let you know, the manager was fired immediately. Subway took care of that problem and got rid of her. But she is not the only one that's done this. She's not the only one talking like this. And she's not going to be the last one talking like this, because unfortunately, we live in a country when you are African American, you will be treated this way too many times that you don't want to. You wonder, why can I get a job? And sometimes it's not because you wasn't qualified. It's the fact is they don't like you because of the color of your skin. Her being a black girl with long hair and being short had nothing to do with her ability to make a sandwich or to make a wrap or whatever else is she going to make over there at Subway. Now, many people is offering her jobs. I'm pretty sure she'll get one pretty quick. But with that being said, understand that when you talk about unemployment for black people, and you talk about, oh, well, it's the lowest it's ever been, 6.7%. That may be true, but our unemployment is still double the white unemployment. They're at 3.2%. Why do you think their unemployment at 3.2% and ours at 6.7%? It's because of things like this is what contributes to unemployment for black people. That's why. And then, the Asian employment number is below the white unemployment number. So everyone is doing a whole lot better than black people, even though they want to tout and say, oh, it's so great for black people. It's not great for black people. You say it may be the lowest it's ever been. That may be true, but it's still double the white unemployment. That's what you have. That's just the numbers. And it's based off of not because black people are lazy, because black people are not lazy. The issue is you are discriminating in hiring. That's what it is. That's why unemployment is double than the white number. That's just really what it is. Actually, due to us having less numbers than white people, our numbers should be lower than theirs, since there's more of them, allegedly. So you know exactly what's going on. This is why we have to create our own jobs and our own businesses. This is why we have to do this. No matter where you at throughout the world, create your own. Because no one can discriminate against you if you create your own. We understand that in this system that we live in, we're going to deal with discrimination and racism, bottom line. But no one can be racist towards you when you own your own business. While you have a job, work towards your own. Because it is sad that we don't have enough businesses out here to take in that young girl if we chose to. Now, I know there's a lot of black businesses would hire her. Right here in the Houston area, they sure would. But we need more brothers and sisters. If you decide to get a Subway franchise, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't condemn nobody for doing that. It's yours, you own it. What's wrong with having a franchise? A lot of people do that. Because some people get, real super woke and say, you don't need no Subway business, you create your own. Well, some people may not have that ingenuity to create their own sandwiches, but they may say, I could do a Subway franchise and make bank. I don't have no issue with that. Trust me, if you open up a McDonald's, of all things to open up, you'll make a killing. Actually, McDonald's kill people, but I'm just talking about financially. You'll make a lot of money if you open up in a McDonald's. So business ownership is just a way to go to prevent discrimination. Doing for self is what the Nation of Islam for sure have taught for a very long time. And any person that do for self, you feel a bunch of freedom. You don't feel like you're being held back. You don't have to worry about the glass ceiling. If you want to hire, teenage kids in the summertime and you got the growth, you can do that and feel proud doing that. But with this particular story, yes, this woman was fired. This young person, whoever it was that was fired, I don't know who the manager was. But the thing is, this contributes to our unemployment being double to the numbers of white employment, which you saw in this story. But leave me a comment, let me know what you think about this situation with this young girl. But we got to keep calling this out when it comes to discrimination in hiring practices, because that's what's hurting us more than anything. I don't care about, once again, I don't care about you calling me names. We could deal with names. But the fact is, when you're trying to hurt us financially, that's when you're really hurting the community.